Hello friends. Welcome to Enjoy English Through Stories. In this video, we'll explore the life and work of Adolf Hitler. You can read and listen to the story at the same time to help you improve your English. Ready to take your English to the next level? Just relax and enjoy the story at your own pace. Okay, without further delay, let's get into the story. Adolf Hitler. The rise and fall of a dictator. Adolf Hitler was born on April 20th, 1889, in Braunau am Inn, a small town in Austria-Hungary, near the German border. From humble beginnings, he would rise to become one of the most infamous figures in world history, leading Germany into World War II and orchestrating the Holocaust. Childhood and early life. Hitler was the fourth of 6 children born to Alois Hitler and Clara Polzel. His father was a strict and often harsh customs official, while his mother was gentle and affectionate. As a child, Hitler was a mediocre student, though he showed early interest in German nationalism and in art. After his father's death in 1903, Hitler's academic performance declined further. He dropped out of school at the age of 16 and later moved to Vienna with hopes of becoming a professional artist. However, he was rejected twice by the Academy of Fine Arts. During his years in Vienna, he lived in poverty, sometimes staying in homeless shelters. It was during this time that Hitler began to form many of the anti-Semitic and nationalist views that would later define his ideology. World War I and political awakening. In 1913, Hitler moved to Munich, Germany. When World War I broke out the following year, he enlisted in the German army. He served as a messenger on the Western Front, where he was wounded twice and decorated for bravery. Like many German soldiers, Hitler was deeply affected by Germany's defeat in 1918 and blamed the loss on what he saw as betrayal by politicians, Jews, and communists back home, a narrative known as the stab-in-the-back myth. After the war, Germany was in chaos. The economy was in ruins, the monarchy had collapsed, and political unrest was widespread. Hitler joined a small nationalist group called the German Workers' Party, which soon changed its name to the National Socialist German Workers' Party, or Nazi Party. He quickly rose through its ranks due to his powerful oratory skills and his ability to channel the anger and frustrations of many Germans. Rise to power. In 1923, Hitler and his followers attempted to overthrow the Weimar Republic in what became known as the Beer Hall Putsch, a failed coup in Munich. Hitler was arrested and sentenced to 5 years in prison, but served only 9 months. During his time behind bars, he wrote Mein Kampf, My Struggle, a political manifesto outlining his vision for Germany. The book revealed his extreme nationalism, racial theories, and hatred for Jews and Marxists. After his release, Hitler rebuilt the Nazi Party. The Great Depression of 1929 devastated Germany and gave him a new opportunity to gain support. As unemployment soared and people lost faith in the democratic government, the Nazis promised national revival, strong leadership, and a return to greatness. By exploiting fear, using propaganda, and blaming scapegoats, especially Jews and communists, Hitler gained a mass following. In 1933, Hitler was appointed Chancellor of Germany. Shortly after, the Reichstag German parliament building burned down under mysterious circumstances. Hitler used the fire as a pretext to suspend civil liberties and arrest political opponents. Through the Enabling Act, he gained the power to pass laws without parliamentary consent, effectively becoming a dictator. The Nazi regime and Hitler's vision. Once in power, Hitler moved quickly to consolidate control. He banned all other political parties, established a totalitarian regime, and created a cult of personality around himself. The Nazi government controlled the press, education, and arts, enforcing loyalty to the regime and its ideology. Central to Hitler's vision was the concept of an Aryan master race and the belief that Jews, Slavs, Roma, disabled people, and other groups were inferior. He promoted aggressive German nationalism, seeking to restore lost territories and create Lebensraum, living space, in Eastern Europe. In 1935, the Nuremberg laws stripped Jews of their citizenship and banned marriage between Jews and non-Jews. Anti-Semitic propaganda and violence increased, culminating in Kristallnacht, Night of Broken Glass, in 1938, when Jewish homes, synagogues, and businesses were destroyed across Germany and Austria. World War II begins. In 1939, Hitler signed a non-aggression pact with the Soviet Union, secretly agreeing to divide Eastern Europe between the two powers. On September 1, 1939, Germany invaded Poland, prompting Britain and France to declare war. World War II had begun. Using a military tactic called Blitzkrieg, lightning war, Germany quickly conquered Poland, Norway, Denmark, the Netherlands, Belgium, and France. Hitler's armies seemed unstoppable. In 1940, he launched air attacks on Britain, but failed to force its surrender. In June 1941, Hitler broke his pact with the Soviet Union and launched a massive invasion, Operation Barbarossa. It would prove to be a fatal mistake. The harsh Russian winter, long supply lines, and fierce Soviet resistance eventually turned the tide against the Nazis. The Holocaust. Perhaps the darkest chapter of Hitler's regime was the Holocaust, the systematic, state-sponsored murder of 6 million Jews, along with millions of others. Hitler believed that the Jews were the root of all Germany's problems, and under his leadership, the Nazi state created a vast network of ghettos, forced labor camps, and extermination camps. At places like Auschwitz, Treblinka, and Sobibor, millions were gassed, shot, or worked to death. The scale and brutality of the Holocaust shocked the world and remains one of history's greatest crimes against humanity. The fall of Hitler and the end of the war. By 1944, Germany was losing the war. The Allies had landed in France on D-Day, and the Soviet army was pushing in from the east. German cities were being destroyed by bombing, and Hitler became increasingly isolated in his bunker in Berlin. On April 30, 1945, with Soviet troops closing in, Adolf Hitler committed suicide alongside his longtime partner, Eva Braun, whom he had married just one day earlier. Germany surrendered days later, on May 8, ending the war in Europe. Legacy and controversy. Adolf Hitler left behind a legacy of destruction, hatred, and tragedy. His actions led to the deaths of more than 70 million people during World War II, including soldiers and civilians. The Holocaust remains a stark reminder of the dangers of prejudice, unchecked power, and totalitarianism. After the war, the Nuremberg trials held many Nazi leaders accountable for war crimes and crimes against humanity. Germany was divided and occupied by Allied forces. Over time, it rebuilt itself as a democratic state, committed to remembering the past and preventing such horrors from ever happening again. Although Hitler died in 1945, the impact of his rule continues to be studied and debated. He is widely regarded as a symbol of evil, extremism, and the dangers of propaganda and authoritarianism. His life serves as a powerful lesson on how fear, hate, and manipulation can lead even an advanced society to commit unthinkable atrocities. We've just finished the story of Adolf Hitler's life and work. Well done. Now, for extra practice, watch the video again with no sound and try reading out loud. This technique is called shadowing, and it's a great way to improve your speaking skills. Also, write down any new words and look them up later. Keep learning and keep growing. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a like, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel. You guys are awesome. Take care and see you in the next story.